Beaudry here with Crystal's Clean Kitchen, where we help make clean eating a lifestyle. So we have another great supper recipe for you today. Now, not only is this low-carb friendly and keto approved, but it's also diabetic friendly and paleo approved, which means that it has no dairy in it. This recipe is so flavorful. You guys are going to love it. Today, we're going to be making some chicken and asparagus hot dish. It's actually pretty simple to do. You guys are going to love it. Before we get into it though, would you do me a huge favor and hit that like button? So we are going to be starting with 2 teaspoons of some oil. Now you can use peanut oil if you want. I don't have any, so I'm going to be replacing it with some avocado oil, which I think is a little bit better anyways. Then we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of some broth. You need 3 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of either some minced scallions or a yellow onion. Either one of those will work, depending upon what you have on hand. Then we're going to be doing 3 chicken breasts. Now, of course, I am looking for no antibiotics or growth hormones, organic. And the newest thing that I just learned about is being air chilled. If it doesn't say that it's air chilled on there, basically what they are doing is they're soaking it in chemicals first and then they're packaging it. I don't prefer that, so that's why I'm always going to be looking for air chilled. Then I'm going to be doing 1 medium-sized carrot, and I'm going to cut that super thin. 2 cups of some asparagus, a half a cup of some water chestnuts. Then I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of some coconut aminos, which is kind of like a healthier version of soy sauce. And then 2 tablespoons of some type of vinegar. So you're supposed to use white wine vinegar, but I don't have any. I'm going to probably using my plum vinegar, or else you could also use a red wine vinegar. And we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of some sesame oil. If you don't prefer sesame oil, just add another teaspoon of some avocado oil. And then you need another 1/4 cup of some broth and 1 tablespoon of some tapioca flour. You could also replace that with arrowroot powder if you prefer as well. So I am going to be starting by cutting up my garlic and my onions, and then I'm going to be sauteing my garlic and my onions for about 30 seconds before I add in the rest of my chicken. I decided to go with the yellow onion. And when you are doing this, and if you're like, oh, I really need to measure out the 2 tablespoons exactly, do not worry about it. It does not matter if you do 2 tablespoons, if you do 3 tablespoons, if you do 2 cloves of garlic or 3 cloves of garlic. That is just personal preference. And you can always do what you have on hand, and that will be just fine. Putting some of the avocado oil in the bottom of the pan, and then adding in my garlic and my onions. I'm going to be prepping my chicken. I'm going to be cutting these in probably small cube pieces. Remember, the bigger that you cut them, the longer it is going to take to cook. I thought I bought all chicken breast, but I actually bought some thighs as well, but that's fine. You can mix in any kind of chicken that you prefer. This has been sauteing for a little bit. I'm going to just add in my chicken now. And then I'm going to be cooking this for about maybe 7 minutes. And I'm going to work on my asparagus. I'm going to just snap off some of the harder edges first. And I'm going to be cutting these in probably about 1/2 inch pieces. And you need about 2 cups of these. So I'm not going to be overly picky on if it's a little bit more than 2 cups. Totally fine. Then I'm going to get out my mandolin for the carrot. Let's see how thin that is, because I want really thin pieces. Okay, so as you can see, nice and thin. You can cut it by hand if you want, though. That's totally fine too. Just if you cut it by hand, try to go as thin as possible. Now, if you guys notice, I have a white carrot. That's pretty cool, right? My son loves purple carrots. He thinks it's the coolest thing ever. So I bought him a bunch of purple carrots, and there were some white ones in there too. I'm not quite sure if they have a different taste. Let me see. Tastes the same. Let me know if you have ever tried different color of carrots before and if you like them or hate them. And then I'm also getting ready my water chestnuts. Now, water chestnuts do have more carbs than most vegetables, so just keep that in mind. I think I might just cut these in half or even in 4ths so that the taste is kind of spread out throughout the dish a little bit more. So my chicken is looking pretty good. I'm actually going to be taking it out of the pan and setting it aside while I do all the rest of the vegetables. Then I'm going to be adding in my carrots and cooking these for about 2 minutes. And after that, I will be adding in my asparagus. Now, if you don't have enough liquid on the bottom of the pan, this is when you would add some more broth. So that has been 2 minutes. I'm going to be adding in my asparagus, stirring it, and then I'm going to cook these for another 3 minutes. That's looking good. I'm going to be adding in my water chestnuts, stirring it a little bit, and then I'm going to let this cook again for another 2 minutes. I will make sure to write out all of this in the video description so that you don't get confused. Next, you're going to add everything else. So I'm going to do my teaspoon of some sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of the vinegar, 2 tablespoons of the coconut aminos, 1/4 of a cup of broth. I'm going to add back in the chicken, kind of give it a stir. So to thicken that broth up, I'm going to be adding in my tapioca flour and then stir that in. Then we're going to cover this, steam it for another 2 minutes. And I am also going to add in a little salt. All right, it has been 2 minutes. This is looking beautiful. That broth has really thickened up into a nice sauce. This is gorgeous. Right, here it is. Let's give this a taste test. You guys, this looks so amazing. And I love this sauce that's in there. Okay. The asparagus still has a nice little crunch to it. Oh, this is so good. Seriously though, what a healthy dinner. It doesn't have a ton of calories in it too, which I love. You guys, this is so good. You gotta try it. Another great thing about it is that you can cook it and then bring it for your lunch the next day for work. This is a great meal to do that with. Don't forget to check out some of the other recipes that we have done that are supper recipes as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already with the little notification bell, because then you will be alerted to any new video that I come out with. You guys are not going to want to miss any of them. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.